Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today's video is going to be a little spruce up of our Agen's enclosure. She recently molted and I've got some really good little bit of footage of it because she actually molted out in the open area, which was really exciting, so we got to see it. And we haven't really done anything to her enclosure for quite a few months now. So we just thought since she'd recently molted, it would be a good time to spruce her house up for her. So I'm going to add in the video of her molting and then come along for the house renovation with us. So we're just going to start off by getting her into the little box that we've got to keep her in whilst we sort her enclosure out. Just be really gentle. Obviously she's just recently molted, so be as gentle as we can. There she goes. There we are. Oh, a bit of hair kicking. She's still probably feeling a little bit vulnerable, So as you can see, she's been in this enclosure now for quite a while. The hide is all rotten, the moss is all dead. Mabel doesn't care because she's a spider, but I just think it'll be time to spruce it up a little bit for her. So we'll get all this emptied out and start again and show you what it looks like. So this is the enclosure all clean and dry. This size enclosure will still be fine for Mabel for probably a couple more molts before she needs a bit more space. So I'm just going to start off by putting some substrate in. We use this one. This is called Spider Life, but you can use so many things. You can use like potting compost. You can use like cocoa fibre. This is really good because it holds its own humidity. So you don't have to worry so much about spraying the enclosure down and stuff like that. So you need to make sure you're filling up quite a bit because you don't want your spider to climb. If Mabel was to climb all the way to the top of here and fall all the way down, she could potentially hurt herself. You want to make sure you get a good amount in. Also, tarantulas do sometimes burrow. Mabel doesn't really tend to burrow very much, but you do want to give them the opportunity if they so wish. We just want to pack this down a little bit. Okay, so I've got all of the substrate pretty much that I think I'm going to need in there. And then what I'm going to do next is make her like a ready built hide burrow area out of some cork bark. The last one she had was a coconut, but I didn't really like that. So I'm going to start off with this bit here. And I'm just going to try and kind of half bury it as much as possible. We can probably add some more substrate in a minute as well. Start the burrow off nicely for her, like this. And I'm going to add a little bit more substrate around the top, just to keep that in place nicely, like that. I think that should probably do her. I'm just going to try and dig out a little area for her. I mean, she will like come in here and do what she wants with this anyway once she gets settled in, but I think that will do her nicely. I'm just going to pop in a few little fake leaves. That's just for me, just to make it look pretty. You can put real plants in a tarantula enclosure, but it is likely that the tarantulas will kill them. Then the last thing I'm going to do just decoration wise is add a little bit of moss in. This just looks nice, plus it does help as well to maintain a little bit of humidity because it will hold some moisture when we've sprayed it down. And it also gives the tarantulas more anchor points for webbing and things like that. So it's just a nice little addition, like so. Also, these leaves are good because she can use them as a little bit of extra protection if she feels like she wants to hide underneath them. And I think that is pretty much it for decorations. All we need to add now is a water dish. I am going to use a smaller water dish this time around, just because the one we had before is quite large in comparison, and she doesn't really use it to actually drink water from. It is more just to help with the humidity, and I don't want to take up too much space in her enclosure, especially now she's getting bigger. So I'm going to go and pop this in one corner, I think over here. And then I think that should be pretty much there. Right, so I'm pretty sure I'm happy with how this looks now. We have added another little piece of cork bark here just to like enclose this open side off a little bit more for her, so she feels a little bit more protected in here. I'm just going to fill the water dish up. And also what I'm going to do is, from her old enclosure, I don't know if you can see, if you can see all those little tiny white like worm looking things, they're springtails, and what they do is they're really helpful with a bioactive substrate, which is what we want. And they basically just go around, they clean up any like mess, any mold. They're totally harmless to obviously the spider, but they are really, really good at helping to keep the enclosure clean and really nice for a bioactive environment. Just going to spray the moss a little bit, not too much. I'm going to turn this on though. Spray the moss a little bit. And then that's it. Ready for her to go back in. Just give you a little shot of Mabel before we put her back in. She's hiding her face because I think she's still feeling a little bit vulnerable after her molt. So we'll get her back in her house nice and gently, and hopefully she'll be happy with what we've done. There you go. All right. No, this way. There we go. There we go. So she's in. Hopefully she'll get settled, start making it her own very soon. So there she is, all spruced up a little bit. And yeah, we'll probably just leave her to settle in now for a few days, but then come back and we'll do some feeding and try and get a little bit more footage of her to see if we can see some size and compare her to her old size and stuff. She's, oh, I just love her. She's so cute. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.